Is it 4 o'clock Mountain Time? Is that what I'm looking at here? Wow, what happened here? I'm in a time warp. Wow, wow, wow. I wish I had a good reason other than sometimes in the world of logistics and delivery, you can't quite find your way to the studio. I'm DPB and we're here today. I don't know if anybody will tune in because most of you have I'm sure your clocks set to 4 o'clock, awaiting DPB. And so I do apologize. Most of you probably will be watching this. This is now live, but it's usually live from 4 to 5 Tuesdays and Thursdays. That's my promise. If I find that it's going to be difficult to live up to that, I will push into the 5 o'clock hour to the Mark Levin time. We don't all need to hear Mark Levin anyway, right? Uh, Mark's great, but DPB is trying to make his own way. Hey, I don't want to get too far away from what we know about today. Biden won't be charged for having illegal, for having classified documents, being in possession of them illegally. You can't make this up. Trump should immediately move to have everything expunged from this craziness, this facade, this election interference of Jack Smith, special counsel Jack Smith, because President Donald Trump, was in possession of documents legally under the Presidential Records Act. As we know, going forward, these people believe, it's funny when they say no one's above the law. That's what they really are, uh, you know, perpetrating against humanity and the people of the United States of America. They no longer believe in the Constitution or the consent of the governed. We don't consent to the way that Joe Biden is running this country. And now we know that it's such a fixed system that his own special counsel, who investigated through the DOJ, basically came out and admitted that this is a feeble old man who lacks in his abilities cognitively. That's who is running our country. Or is it truly who's running our country? We don't know. But I wanted to jump on here. I know after hours, after the hour of 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock, but it's Mountain Time. I'm going to go with that, right? Um, a couple things other than Biden obviously not being charged with being in violation of the law. Surprise, surprise. It is voting day. That's the most important thing about today. Today begins the season of the 2024 presidential primary. You can go and vote. I encourage you to go and vote. Please do not vote by mail. Go to a voting center near you. They are alive, and that's in the state of Illinois. I should probably qualify that. In Illinois, the voting season started today, February 8th. Please go out into your county and find out where it is that you have the ability to vote in person. That's what I'm encouraging you to do. Go and vote in person. You have 40 days now to do that. This is a precursor to the most important election in the history of the United States of America. I believe that unequivocally. I know many people would say that there are other elections that were just as important. No, this is the paramount, the pinnacle, the top of the mountain when it comes to elections. But what the primary does is it helps us gauge what is going to happen moving forward into the general election. As I've said many times over, they used to wait until election day to do their ballot dumps in the middle of the night. Now they realize that it's easier to put ballots into the voting counts by utilizing these extended periods of time that you have for early voting. I mean, we have 40 days of voting in Illinois and 14 days of adjudication, which basically means that they are still counting votes 14 days after, as long as those ballots were in before the deadline on election day. They still are postmarked. I'm sorry, postmarked by election day. They don't have to be in. They just have to be postmarked by uh, election day. And they still count those for 2 weeks past March 19th. So that's how important this is. I just wanted to make sure that you guys were aware. I'm sure you are. Go out, find a friend, find somebody that has not been consistent in voting, and don't buy any excuses that my vote doesn't count. Your vote counts, especially in primaries. Your vote counts. Local elections, consolidated, your vote counts. Every vote counts. We need to overwhelm the voting ballot box. We need you. We need everyone. We need 60% of Republicans. If 60% of Republican voters show up, we win every election, unequivocally. There's not an election that we lose. I don't care what they do. And they can try to do whatever they do with the systems or with the ballots, with vote by mail, with the ballot stuffing of the voting box. It doesn't matter. If we show up, 60% of us, we will win every election we need to win on the conservative grassroots side of things. That's how important it is. Don't give up on it. Make sure you get everybody there. Like I said, I'm not going to go long today because I did not fulfill my promise to you, and I apologize as I should. You guys sound like I'm from New York. You, my loyal followers, subscribers to YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, and Twitter. You've been with me from the start. I don't even know who's in there. Hold on. I didn't get the comments turned on. Oh, love this show, Kat. There's Ryan. Of course, just the people who are solid, Kat. Love this show. Thank you, Kat. Kat, I had problems with my camera again, and I always have to remember, even though I turn it on, I have to push the little button to make sure that I'm not in studio somewhere else, if you know what I mean. If you know, as Dan Bongino says, and Kat definitely knows. But thank you, guys, for supporting at the DPB show, the DPB show. Big things are happening on the horizon. I feel it. There is more in 2024 for you and me and everyone out there. We've got to continue to push into this thing, whether it's the voting, whether it's our faith, well, first and foremost, as I said the last show, God first. I'm not going to tolerate anyone who's running for public office that doesn't do it from a God first stance. I'm just not interested. If God isn't the number one reason you're running for office, then you're probably not going to find your way onto the DPB show. I get it. I've talked to plenty of people that don't believe that, and that's fine. It's just I'm not going to give them space or time on my show. That's just me. I think time's short. I don't think that we should be wasting time. I think that there are things we have to do. Once again, once it's over here on earth, it's over. I'm sure Toby Keith, many of you know, we lost, someone who was very inspirational in the country music industry, 62 years of age, died of stomach cancer. His last breath, that's it. His ability to impact and to challenge and motivate and encourage people in the way of everlasting life is gone. I don't want to miss that opportunity. So I'm not going to spend time with people who want to waste time. And there are plenty of them. In fact, Washington, D.C., Springfield, and many of our local municipalities are filled with time wasters, people who are there jockeying, positioning, posturing their selves because it's about them rather than about us. It's time that we find our way to the voting booth and tell them how we feel. Call your congressman, call your state representatives, call your city council people and tell them enough's enough. We're the people. They work for us. We don't work for them. That's how important it is. Don't miss an opportunity. You've got 40 days. I'm not going to let this go. I will be talking about this for the next 4 or 5 weeks because it's that important. We need to make sure that everyone knows. Hey, go out, like, share, read the articles. Like I said, I was just reading it from my phone about the whole travesty of what is happening with Donald Trump. I know that he has motioned or made motion, had his attorneys motion in regards to the Biden document scandal. I don't see it here on Truth Social. I was looking for his most recent post. I'm sure he's been on fire today, which he has been. Special counsel Biden doesn't know when he was VP. That's another story. I mean, they came out and said the quiet part out loud, which is the fascinating part of this, is that they view special counsel investigating the Biden illegal classified documents, that he's feeble and he's not fully within his mind. We all know that. That's why this is the beginning of the end for Joe Biden. You're going to see the bullpen. They're going to go to the bullpen. My assumption is that's Gavin Newsom, who is coming in to take the place of Joe Biden, and that's who will be opposing President Donald J. Trump in November. So that's all I have. I so appreciate you, especially my friends Ryan and Conservative Cat, Paul Garcia Productions. Obviously, I've got to get with Paul. I wouldn't be able to do it without him. But my wife, Tanya, obviously, she's spearheads. She is the tip of the spear in most cases. She's the one who prods me to continue to be the best version of myself, to live out this thing that God has given me, this ministry of being a on-air talent or a podcaster or an opinionator, whatever title you want to give to me. It's that important that we all initiate those talents and that God has given us. We shouldn't lay back because, like I said, the time is short. We don't know the hour, the minute, or the day, but we know this: the days are dwindling, and they're dwindling quickly. So don't give up. Keep fighting. I thank you guys for being here with me. I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to make this too long. It's coming up against 15 minutes, which is 15 minutes beyond when the show should have ended in the first place. So thank you. I just said I've got to break myself of that. That's one of my pet peeves. I'm not an ummer. I don't want to be an ummer. I like a witch at Jimmy John's. They're not a sponsor. Maybe they will be one day. I just did it again. Witch. I'm going to start saying witch rather than Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's an honor to have you here. Thank you. There's Sarah Froberg. Hi, David Paul. Glad you stayed on. I didn't stay on, Sarah. I'm overtime or I'm under time. I'm something in time. I was lost in time. So thank you guys. You're awesome. I'll be back on Tuesday. I will have a full show. I promise you, 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock means 4 o'clock. 4 to 5 live Tuesdays and Thursdays. Come back then. I shall be here. If something monumental happens in the course of between now and Tuesday, I will jump on here. I'll have to have the assistance of my friend Kat to make sure she gets me into studio in a timely manner. But I will be here. Please don't give up. I wish you all peace. You're awesome. You know, as I always say, I love you and God loves you more. So hang in there, and we will be back with you on Tuesday. Thanks a lot.